Good evening and welcome to the NXTGEN Season 17 Powermaxed Modern Touring Car Championship. We are here at Bathurst for round number 8 on the mountain. Should be a belting race. Everyone's in the Renault Megane touring cars. And we're looking at Jack. We've got 14 runners. We have Big Bloody B, NGR Tim, AMH Racing, Cam123 Diz, Web User Johnny, Traumatic Dave having a traumatic tank slapper there out of Reed Park. The Layers, Rally Matt, Fourfish, D Whitehouse, Shadow Stalker, Weedaz, Bruce Lee Harding, and Jack TM53. Synopsis. Top 10 in the table, AMH Racing leads the way on 130 points with Fourfish on 107. Cam has 104 with Jack on 84. D Whitehouse is on 83. Bruce Lee is on 78. Johnny 74. The Layers on 66. Big Bloody B 49 with Epic Legend on 48. Where is AMH? That is the question. Oh no, Epic Legend. Oh dear. Missing the entry time. Well, hopefully you get to enjoy the race from the spectator side of things tonight. Hopefully you'll get a chance to sign up for next week's race, the penultimate round. But we're going to go on board with AMH for a lap of Bathurst. So first up is Hell Corner, this 90-degree left-hander. We come out of that down the mountain straight. And there's 3 points. Look at the map. Down the hill into Quarry Bend of this 3.8 mile circuit. Down a couple of gears into fourth. Let it run nice and tight through the corner. Down to third for the exit. I'd say you probably want to be in third on the entry really. Into the cutting, flat left. Then you hit the brakes for the second part. It's just run a bit wide as AMH, clipping the wall. Weedaz has already finished qualifying. He had a lap in validation. Through Reed Park we go now. Flick it left, over the hill, and down towards Solomon Park. AMH using as much of the track as possible as we head into McPhillamy Park. Up towards Skyline. Down to fourth and just let it slightly coast with a touch of throttle. So you go into the S's. A little bit wide from AMH. The back end steps out. That's a great save. He's into the wall. Luckily he's not invalidated his lap time for contact with the wall, so he can carry on. It's not going to be the best of laps for AMH as he goes through the Forest Elbow. Down through the Conrod. Straight we go. Just 50 seconds left on the clock, so AMH may be thinking he's got a chance of a second lap here, because you can see he's warming up his tyres. Through the chase, the only alteration to be made on this circuit since 1938, 1987 that was put in. Then you head into Murray's Corner, hit the brakes, 90-degree left-hander, and AMH will get through for another lap. What time does he do now? No, he doesn't, so he did actually lose his time for that then. Big Bloody B will get another lap as well. As will Fourfish. Time is now up. And Jack has not set a time. He is at the back of the pack. The Layers, the first man to finish his qualifying then, a 218.5. Bruce Lee Harding a 230, no sorry not 230, 220.6, so not a bad time from Bruce. Johnny puts in a 223.2, that's AMH. Cam coming up to the line now. D Whitehouse, a 2:21.3. Cam puts in no time at all, so he's had his lap discounted as well. Rally Matt doesn't set a time. Shadow Stalker. If Shadow Stalker can set a time here, he's not going to set a time, he's going to go back to the pits. So we have AMH on a lap, Big Bloody B on a lap, and Fullfish on a lap. So at the moment we're looking at just 7 people potentially setting a lap time here in qualifying. Down the mountain, Fullfish has abandoned his latest attempt. AMH just coming onto the Conrod straight. Down to the chase he goes. He hits the brakes, turns it left. Flicks it right, down to Murray's corner. Has this been a good enough lap from AMH to maybe take pole position away? It is a 2:16.6, a full second ahead of Fullfish in the end. AMH takes pole position from Fullfish, a good lap time, and it puts him in good stead for the race. The Les is on row 2, alongside him is Big Bloody B. Row 3 consists of Bruce Lee Harding and D Whitehouse 7. Row 4, Johnny and Tim. Tim, the first man to not set a lap, and he starts on the 4th row of the grid. 5th row is Cam and Traumatic Dave. Row 6 is Rally Matt and Shadow Stalker. Row 7 is Weedaz and Jack TM53 Synopsis, who has failed to set a time and will start at the back spot of the grid, so not ideal that for Jack, but AMH, he's got a good chance to get away here. Start of the race. Jack maybe just doing his last deductions. And get the show on the road. We sink in for round 8 of the Paramax monitoring cars. We have 3 red lights. We are green at Mount Panorama. It's been a good getaway from everyone as we head towards Hell Corner for the first time. A little bit of shuffling in the mid-pack, but Fullfish looking to go around the outside of AMH. That's not quite going to work. AMH will lead on the way out. Have we got through the first corner cleanly? Looks like we have. A good getaway from the guys in NXTGEN, but Fullfish is now in the lead. Down the mountain straight. He's going to have the inside line for Quarry Bend. He's also got, I believe that's Big Bloody B trying to push him as he go into Quarry Bend. Fullfish will, as predicted, take the lead with that inside line. Have we got through Quarry Bend cleanly? Yes, we have. And Jack up to 13th at the moment as they head through the cutting. Just see all the cars through the cutting there. There's Weedaz. He's up into 11th at the moment. A bit of a wall rub there from Cam. He's going to go down the order. He's going to run him out behind. Just behind Weedaz is Jack in 11th. Right at the front, Fullfish still holding strong as they go down the mountain through Skyline into the S's. Down towards the Forest Elbow. Better line from Fullfish compared to AMH. AMH quite tight on the entry to the hairpin. Big Bloody B now has a penalty to his name for track limits. As they head down the Conrod straight for the first time, this is where slipstream will be vital. Shadow Stalker has managed to get up to 11th. There's Matt with Traumatic Dave and Weedaz just behind. So something possibly has happened there on the down section of the mountain, but AMH unable to get past Fullfish, so Fullfish has gone a little bit deep into the chase. He's going to have to go defensive into Murray's corner here. He sticks it to that left-hand side. He's going to have to force AMH to the outside to go the long way round. Oh, a bit of squeezing going on by Fourfish, but it's all fair game so far. And Fourfish will lead the first lap here at Bathurst. So head through Hell Corner, and the Les, who's got past Big Bloody B, probably at the chase there, is now looking at AMH, and this is not a spot AMH really wants to be in. He's trying to attack and defend at the same time. Les looking to go around the outside of Fourfish as well. That is brave through Quarry Bend. He's managed to get AMH. But as he heads to the cutting, AMH going to go around the outside. Oh, a bit of a tweak from the Les. He's just about kept hold of that place. He did lose the rear, and here comes Big Bloody B. He's going to go past AMH now. And he's going to look around the outside of the Les. Oh, and Big Bloody B this time goes into the wall. AMH retakes that third spot, and now he's really looking to get back past Les. This is allowing Fourfish to get away. 2.1 seconds is the gap to the leader. Oh, Les has flicked the wall into Skyline. Yeah, I was going to say, he'd probably have to take a penalty for that one. Oh, but he's trying to cut across Big Bloody B. I can see what Les tried to do, but it wasn't very successful. Good job, Big Bloody B didn't go around. That could have been a bit of a bigger accident. Big Bloody B flashing his lights, not very happy with that one. I can see why, and this has brought Bruce Lee Harding into the mix. Bruce now looking down the inside up towards the chase. Oh, bit of contact, and Big Bloody B is off. I think he rolled the car. Looked like a bit of magnetisation from the game there. That was weird, but Big Bloody B now down to 8th place, and he's got NGR Tim, who's running in 9th place. This is a fantastic showing from Tim as they head on to lap number 3. Johnny's up in 4th. Bruce has dropped down to 6th. Meanwhile, Cam is looking to the inside of Johnny, going into Quarry Bend. Can't quite make the move. She's quite a tight line if you're going to take the inside there. It's only really feasible at the start of the race when there's a packed grid of cars behind you. But Bruce is right there. If anything happens between Cam and Johnny as they go through Reed Park, Bruce right into the wall there, down Solomon Park and into McPhillamy Park. A lot of parks. Up towards the skyline for the third time of 10. Oh, and this time Cam has had to take the shortcut, as has Bruce. Bruce in the background, he's into the wall. Lots of places lost. There goes Big Bloody B. There goes Tim. So Bruce down to 9th after that little mistake. Jack from 14th on the grid is up to 6th place now. I feel a podium is probably out of his reach at this point in time, but you never know, as you just seen from Bruce. One small mistake can cost you a lot of time round Bathurst. Johnny just going through the chase. Cam, bit of a little wiggle there from Cam. He just took too much curb into the left hand of the chase. So he just popped the car up onto 2 wheels slightly. AMH a 2:15.8 this time around. He is ripped half a second out of Fourfish's lead. 1 lap 4, so it's without a doubt. Oh, Johnny clipping the grass at Hell Corner. Sends him round, allows Cam into 4th. Here comes Jack. Jack is now in the top 5. I see no reason why Jack can't get this move done into Quarry Bend. There we go. So from last on the grid, Jack is now in the top 5, heading into Quarry Bend. Up towards the cutting. Tim's in the wall at Quarry Bend. Oh, and it's big collisions. That is Bruce in the wall. D Whitehouse as well. I don't really know what happened at that one. Oh, that was close for Shadow Stalker. As you can see, D Whitehouse trying to manoeuvre his car. Bruce now down to 13th. Rally Matt, the only man behind him who's just coming into Quarry Bend himself. So I don't know what happened into Quarry Bend with those guys, but Jack is now in 4th because Cam seems to have made a mistake. He's back behind Johnny. It's all kicking off in these middle laps between just general mistakes from people. Tim is still in 9th, which is a fantastic effort. He's got Traumatic Dave, who is catching up to him. Meanwhile, Fourfish's lead is down to 2.3. There is AMH, the current league leader. I'll tell you what, Jack could actually get the podium here. He went 2.2 quicker than Les last time around. He is now only 3.3 behind. MH 2.1 then, behind our leader. He pulled another 6/10 out of them this time around. Jack pulled another 8/10 on the Les, so he is now 3.0 behind the Les, and he's got 3.1 to Cam. So Cam has repassed Johnny. Johnny right in his slipstream though, into Quarry Bend. Shadowstalker, D Whitehouse, but Tim now behind Traumatic Dave as they head through Quarry Bend. These guys could still keep up with Dave as Dave goes into the wall. Epic Legend placing his bets on AMH winning and Jack 3rd. I think Jack is definitely good enough to get 3rd here. AMH, he's now 1.6 behind Fourfish. The biggest thing for AMH here is I know how good Fourfish can defend. Oh, and Traumatic Dave goes wide through Solomon Park. It allows Tim through into 9th place. So Tim now leads in this little battle for 9th place as they go through McPhillamy Park. AMH has got a really bad problem here around Bathurst, and that's just there's not a lot of overtaking spots. You've got the Chase, you've got Murray's Corner, you've got Hell Corner, you've also got Quarry Bend, which is a potential. It's not easy, but after that you've got to pretty much go one by one through the whole mountain section until you get into Forest Elbow, and even then that's one car per piece of circuit really. And the thing is, if Fourfish can force a mistake from AMH down the mountain, it could really help him out. Jack is now just 1.9 though behind the Les. We know Les won't give up the place easily. It's fair to say, but who knows what's going to happen with those two. Meanwhile, babies of Johnny obviously falling off the back of Cam. He's got about 2.3 to Big Bloody B. Bruce Lee Harding isn't too far ahead of Rally Matt. The battle for the wooden spoon is on. at the moment here on lap number 5. And these two might start working together to try and get up, but D Whitehouse has passed Shadow Stalker just before Hell Corner. Bruce with the 2:18.8 last time around. D Whitehouse. Next up is Tim, who's dropped back behind Traumatic Dave by about 9 seconds, so he's made a mistake somewhere. He is about 3 seconds behind. Oh, sorry, no, Tim's only 3 seconds behind Traumatic Dave. So, still a bit of time to find there. MH is slowly catching Fourfish though. It's down to 1 second. Epic Legends saying it's painful watching points in the mid-table battles slipping away. It is great racing. However, the nice thing here, Epic, is that you do get 1 drop score. So this effectively... Oh, Dave, that's not the line of the circuit, but interesting interpretation anyway. Yeah, this championship has 1 drop score for the season, which means that if obviously you miss one, it's not the end of the world as D Whitehouse goes into the wall, and Tim has gone straight on at the far elbow, just waiting for a place to rejoin, and he finds that place just ahead of Bruce. Yeah, so if you compete in 9 of the 10 rounds this season, it's absolutely fine, because that 0 score will effectively be discounted from your tally, and effectively you can still gain points. For example, if someone's done all 10 rounds, they've scored 18 points, or actually, another way, so say AMH's worst score is, let's say, 10 points, yours is a 0, and then you will effectively gain 10 points on AMH come the end of the season, as that 10 points will come off of AMH's tally as a drop score. Shadowstalker's had an issue. He's now at the back as Bruce Lee Harding overtakes Tim coming up towards Hell Corner, and Randy Mats will surely follow suit. So yeah, I guess the best way is, as long as this is going to be your worst, well, it's going to be your worst score, but if this is the only one you're going to miss, then I wouldn't look at it as points slipping away. It's more... It does put more pressure on you, but it's not quite point slipping away at this stage unless you've already had a 0 score during the season. Meanwhile, we're going to focus our attention to the front of the pack. Lap number 7, Fourfish has now just got half a second of a gap to AMH. He's led for 6 laps. He's going to make this 7. And he is going to be eager to keep this win. Meanwhile, we're also going to look at Jack TM53 Synopsis. He is right behind the Les, coming up towards the chase. AMH into the chase he goes. He closes up on Fourfish with that concertina effect into the corner. Not much of a concertina, he's actually getting a lot of time there. And you see there's going a little bit two-wheeling action through the chase. Down to Murray's Corner. Hell Corner for the leaders, on to lap 8. Just 3 laps remaining. Fourfish just has to survive for those 3 crucial laps. If he can survive at AMH for 3 laps, he will take this victory, and it'll be one that is well deserved for him. AMH not close enough into Quarry Bend by the looks of it. He's going to have to sit behind. Jack, however, is close enough. He's going to have a look. Does he fully go for it? No, he does back out of it. There's the AMH and Fourfish. And so it's very hard to make a move on the mountain section without your opponent making the mistake. Into McPhillamy Park for first and second. Over the skyline into the S's. Riley Matters still behind Tim at the moment, but Tim does have a corner cutting or track limits penalty through the Forest Elbow. Now here comes the chance. The Les has had an accident. He's down to 5th place. He's now down to 6th place and he's losing time. Down to 7th, down to 8th. He's gone off on the downside of the mountain section. I believe that's the S's. Cars rev to their limit. AMH a better line through the chase. He's going to have a good run here. Fourfish once again goes defensive into Murray's corner, although AMH almost sold him a bit of a dummy. This is how close AMH is. So Jack is up to 3rd place now. He's on the podium from the back of the pack. 2 laps remaining. We're on the penultimate lap. Fourfish, what is he going to do down towards Quarry Bend? Because at this range, AMH is well within slipstreaming distance. But the straight is not long enough. So you hear the brakes into Quarry Bend. Fourfish is driven magnificently up to this point. He's really got to hang on now. Les is now down to 13th after that mistake. The AMH into the wall. So AMH has lost a bit of time, about 3/10 of a second there. Epic Legend only missed it by 2 minutes. Oh dear. He reckons AMH going for a late break into the last corner. It is possible. Guido's down to 5th now. Johnny's 4th, but again he's got a track limits penalty. I don't know how much he's got. Oh, Fourfish has gone round into the Forest Elbow. The one mistake. He's driven magnificently through this race. He's just lost the rear over the crest into the Forest Elbow. He's got 1 lap to make this right. Fourfish is going to be furious with himself after that one. AMH though, he can't back off to try and take this win sensibly. See Jack in the background. It's an absolute gutter that for Fourfish. He was controlling Andrew so well through the mountain section. He's got 0.8 of a second to try and get back at him. I don't think it's going to work. Weedaz is now down to 6th place. Through Quarry Bend and up towards the cutting. Going to peel away because Weedaz is all over the back of Cam. Cam does have a track limits penalty as it stands, but Weedaz with the slipstream looks to the outside as they head up towards Quarry Bend. Hit the brakes and Weedaz round the outside. Oh, that was an accident. That shouldn't. Oh, and again Weedaz has reset his car. Done that in the Group A1s. That promotes Big Bloody B. Unfortunately, Fourfish has been unable to try and catch up to AMH. It's such a big shame for him. He's not going to be happy with himself. I know Fourfish, he knows that was that's the only mistake he's made all race. It's going to be gutting from Cam. Cam's gone off. That's at Skyline. So he's down to 7th. Meanwhile, we're going to watch AMH because he's going to come through to take the win. A good race from AMH. He probably would have preferred a better fight really with Fourfish. It was a shame, but he's not going to deny it. He's going to love the win. AMH wins at Bathurst. Followed by Fourfish. Jack, a fantastic race. A driver of the day from last to 3rd. Web user Johnny will come home in 4th place. A quiet one for Johnny, but solid result. Flashes lights, he's going to be happy with a 4th place finish. Big Bloody B will be in the top 5. Weedaz will finish in 6th. Cam 123 Diz, he'll come home 7th. He'll probably won't be too happy with that. Weedaz has actually done both Johnny and Big Bloody B on penalties. Cam up into 6th. D Whitehouse is going to be in 8th. Make that 7th. Traumatic Dave, he's going to lead a train because he's got Bruce Lee Harding right behind him. But Traumatic Dave, a 9th place finish. A fantastic result from him. Bruce Lee Harding ends up 9th. Deleuze 10th. Rally Matt 11th. Big Bloody P down to 12th. Shadow Stalker's got Tim just behind, but he will hold on because of Tim's penalties. Shadow Stalker 13th, and Tim will come home in 14th. So provisional results, obviously before any inquiries from the stewards. AMH takes the victory from Fourfish. Jack comes home a wonderful 3rd. Weedaz 4th. Johnny somehow ended up with a 25-second time penalty. That's a big one. He'll finish in 5th provisionally. Cam 6th. D Whitehouse 7th. Traumatic Dave in 8th. Bruce Lee in 9th. Deleuze 10th. Rally Matt 11th. Big Bloody B with a 40-second time penalty. I don't know how they're picking these up. He's in 12th. Shadow Stalker 13th. Tim in 14th. That finishes off for the Paramaxed Modern Touring Cars. Next up tonight will be my point of view of the Clios. So if you're interested in that, do stay tuned. But next up for the Modern Touring Cars, round number 9, it's Road America, and for the first time ever in the Modern Touring Cars history, it's another single make race, but this time the guys will have to get used to the V8 supercar. That's right, we're going to the Ford Falcon for next week for Road America. So that should be a fantastic race to have. Epic Legend, unfortunate Fourfish, good drive. It was a very good drive from Fourfish. But join us next week for more Modern Touring Car action with the Ford Falcon V8 Supercars. Again, my preview of the Clios will be up next around Bathurst. But for myself and the guys here at the Modern Touring Cars, we thank Paramaxed for their support and sponsoring the league. And we also thank you guys for watching tonight. But from the Modern Touring Cars, thank you for watching. Good night.